Do you ever wonder how we know what we know, or what we should do when we don't know what to do? These are some of the questions that kept Immanuel Kant up at night. And in this video, we'll see how his wrestling with these questions changed the world. Welcome to 3-Minute Philosophy. Kant was born in 1724 in a small city in Prussia called Königsberg. That's where he lived his whole life. He was raised in a modest family and had a pretty normal childhood. But from an early age, he developed a love for books and critical thinking. So when he went to the University of Königsberg to study, he focused on philosophy, mathematics, and natural sciences. And after graduating, he became a professor at the same university. Now, people who knew him described him as someone who liked to keep to himself and have a strict daily routine. People joked that you could set your clock by his afternoon walks. But behind this ordinary routine was an extraordinary mind. Kant was a revolutionary thinker who changed the way we think about reality, morality, and even time itself. So, what was Kant's secret? Well, his first big work was called Critique of Pure Reason, where he tackled the question, how do we know what we know? Before Kant, philosophers had mostly assumed that we know things because stuff happens in the world and we perceive it with our senses. But Kant turned this around and asked, what if our minds are actually doing most of the work? He argued that our minds actively shape reality by imposing categories like space, time, and cause and effect. So we don't just see the world as it is, we see it through the lens of our own minds. But Kant didn't stop there. He also applied this way of thinking to morality. He came up with the idea of the categorical imperative, which says that we should act only according to rules that we could universalize. In other words, if you're thinking about doing something, ask yourself, would I want everyone to be able to do this? If the answer is no, then you shouldn't do it. In short, Kant basically changed the way we think about everything. His ideas inspired other great thinkers like Hegel, Marx, Einstein, and many more. So even if you don't know a lot about philosophy, you've probably heard some of his ideas. After all, he was the philosopher who never stopped asking, what if? Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please subscribe. And remember, you can download a free guide to help you learn more about philosophy at our website.